O Internet, please hear my prayer. Send me a Final Fantasy IX abridged parody. Hello everyone, I'm Legally Lyra. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to ask for your help. No preamble, let's get right to it. I want to see an FF9 abridged parody, and I can't do it alone. I'm just one woman after all. But maybe, just maybe, some of you might want to help me make it a reality. And if so, I hope you'll consider lending me your talents. To convince you, I've prepared a short demo for how some of the main characters might act and sound. Whether you think you can contribute or not, I hope you'll enjoy this overview. As always, spoilers ahead. Final Fantasy IX is a story full of memorable and exciting characters, set in a world with plenty of crazy plot twists and over-the-top stakes that make it ripe for parody. I see it happening in a manner similar to FF7 Machinima Abridged. In fact, if Team 4-Star or Machinima decide they want to take my ideas and run with them, more power to them. Either way, let's get into the specifics. I've made up some dossiers for the main protagonists and villains we meet up until the Outer Continent. We'll start with the first player-controlled character, Zidane. In-game, Zidane is a skirt-chasing bandit who tries to smooth-talk all the ladies and often misses the bigger picture, but he has a good heart and always wants to help people. He's great with kids and loves making people laugh. He's also got a terminal case of Final Fantasy protagonist amnesia. In the parody, we would heighten his foibles and distill his virtues. I see him as a body-positive, pronoun-slinging social justice warrior with no situational awareness and a bad memory in general. I picture him totally losing his cool around Garnet and having his advances rejected by every other girl he talks to. Most importantly, I see him getting taken advantage of by kids, especially Eiko. Here's a clip of what I think he could sound like. Hi guys, my name's Zidane Tribal. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm the world's greatest thief. I also have absolutely no idea what's going on. Why are we here again? To kidnap the princess. Okay, I mean, on the one hand, kidnapping is wrong. But I guess maybe if she wants to be kidnapped, I'm not here to judge. Not like that'll ever happen, though. Vivi is the single cutest Final Fantasy character to ever exist. I will not be taking questions. He's innocent, naive, clumsy, and eager to learn about a world he's never seen before. He's also got an incredibly dark backstory and has to cope with trauma that would be enough to break people with less love in their hearts than he has. In this parody, we would heighten the dramatic irony surrounding him by making him even more relentlessly enthusiastic for the joys of discovery, while making him a self-aware nerd who says, "I meant to do that," every time he falls over, and occasionally startles us with chilling prose on the nature of life and death. I imagine him sounding like this. Hello there everyone! My name is Vivi Ornatier, and I'm a black mage. I was created by a genocidal madwoman out of dark magic and a mist made from leftover souls. Sometimes, the crippling certainty of my imminent expiration date leaves me unable to draw a breath, and I lie awake at night thinking about the tortured spirits that comprise my very flesh, wondering, how long before they take my soul to join them? Do I even have a soul to take? But then, I usually remember that I get to ride on a chocobo tomorrow and feel much better. They're so cute. In Dagger, we have a contradiction between her royal self and her true self. Princess Garnet Till Alexandros is refined, mature, and responsible. Dagger is impulsive, passionate, and fearless. Both are deeply concerned with the acquisition and application of power, particularly as regards her mother. In the parody, we ramp that tension up to 11 by giving her different accents for different personas, and by having her constantly seeking the approval of others in order to validate her wobbling sense of self. She's also probably got some of her mother's lust for power, too, which could make scenes like Atomos' attack on Lindblom both heartbreaking and hilarious. Here's how she might sound. Greetings and salutations. I am Princess Garnet Till Alexandros XVII, but you may call me Dagger. It is a true delight to meet you, and... what's that? Oh, right! What I meant to say was, nice to meet ya! Did I do it right? I did. Oh, wonderful! Now then, take me to my mother. She and I need to have a word. Okay, to be honest, Steiner is practically already a parody of himself. He's loud, obnoxious, and narrow-minded to the point of absurdity. He literally jumps up and down in a tantrum when he gets upset. So, in the parody version, I picture him being more or less the same, but with just a touch more seriousness, in order to make him the straight man to the unhinged antics of those around him. Above all else, he is a knight who knows his duty and strives to execute it. Something like this.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Captain Adelbert Steiner of the Knights of Pluto. My sword art technique has been passed down and refined through generations of the Steiner family, and by my blade, I swear the Princess of Alexandria shall come to no harm. Wait. Where is she? Princess? Princess! I swear to Bahamut, it's like herding cats with these two!
Oh, Freya, my favorite sad, jumpy girl. You know, if I had a nickel for every time I fell in love with an amazing female character who wielded a long, pointy weapon, jumped effortlessly through the air, and held a position of rank in a city known for its never-ending reign, I'd have 2 nickels. But it's weird that it happened twice. Anyway, Freya is the most serious character in the game, so I picture the parody ramping her up to furniture-chewing drama and spouting emo poetry when she's sad. She might be the only character who ever gets drunk. I also like to think that she eventually adopts Vivi and Eiko to an extent. I could definitely use more input on her, but here's my best take at her voice so far. Hello, my name is Freya Crescent, and I am a dragon knight of Burmecia. I am wandering the world in search of my lost love, Sir Fratley, and I've only stopped here in Lindblom to, Bartender, another round. Oh, Sir Fratley, I would carve your name on my flesh to bring you home, if I could only get the leverage with my spear. Hey, you got a problem? Didn't think so. Quina was one of the trickiest characters for me to reimagine, largely because they have almost no character to begin with, and aside from being able to discover the tunnel to the outer continent, they have literally 0 plot relevance. I ended up thinking of them largely in terms of being a weird foil to most of the party. Enthusiastic but calm, knowledgeable but relaxed about it, moisturized, in their lane, thriving. And full of frogs, of course. I also decided against using their stilted vocabulary, since I think it's funnier if they can talk normally. Let me know what you think of this voice clip. Howdy there, I'm Quina Q of the Q tribe. What's my gender? Well now, gender's just a label people slap on after the fact. At the end of the day, all that really matters is what's inside your stomach.
And, what's inside your stomach?
Frogs! Ain't nothing better. And before you ask, no, I do not know how I talk with my tongue sticking out like this either. but try as I might, I just can't get it back in my head. In all honesty, though, it is great for catching flies. Yum, yum. Kuja is gay. Like, seriously, look at this man. He's a queer-coded villain, and he is absolutely, actually queer. He's also a narcissistic sociopath with a debilitating fear of death, who treats the entire world like a play and spends most of his time diddling around behind stage waiting for his entrance. So, in the parody, I want to make his queerness 100% textual, along with him basically being a gigantic drama queen who lives for the thrill and is dying of boredom while he waits between scenes. Here's my take on his voice. It is I, Kuja, master of magic and emperor of Eidolons. Behold the curtain rising on the heart-stopping drama I've put in motion. This Oglop has only one chance to save his family, by putting on a fabulous one-night-only cabaret-style talent show. First up, Let It Go. Oh, honey, no. 2013 called. They want their incredibly bland coming-out analogy back. Well, I'll just have to tolerate it until Sedaine shows up and... speak of the monkey-tailed devil. There he is. Hello, handsome. And, hi, Garnet. Ugh. In the game, Braun is practically a walking punchline, which is weird because she's also one of the most terrifying, monstrous villains out there, a walking incarnation of the sin of greed. In the parody, I imagine her being a little bit more cold and calculating, possessing an overtly ominous and deceptive air that only occasionally shatters when she loses her temper. A sort of make-you-laugh-by-how-scary it is approach. Above all else, she should be chillingly self-possessed. Something like this. You must kneel in the presence of the Queen, child. We are displeased by your disobedience, Garnet. But you have come home at last, and for that we forgive you. Now, darling, no need to stand on ceremony anymore. Come to Mummy and give her a hug. And your Eidolons. Thorn, seize her. Beatrix may be the most self-important character, constantly disappointed by how little challenge she's offered and how Braun resorts to war crimes instead of using Beatrix and her soldiers. She also loves Steiner, for some reason. In the parody, I imagine her being preternaturally bored, with only the destruction of Clara snapping her out of her torpor. And even then, she's still very down-to-earth. Borderline relaxed, even in times of crisis. And always sarcastic. Her resentment of Braun is probably obvious from the beginning. I'm a little unclear on her voice as well, so let me know what you think of this. Before you stands the mighty Beatrix, who once slew 100 enemies single-handed. Oh, but I'm sure the four of you, a twink, a disgraced knight, a child, and what I can only assume is some sort of muppet, will be able to stop me. Stock break. Come on, Queen Braun, let me solo the next mission. Why are you looking at the dark matter like that? Ooh. Yikes. And that's about it. I have a few vague notions about characterization for some of the various side characters, but there's just so much to play with here that I really don't think I can do it alone. My video capture and editing skills are subpar, and even if my voice acting were sufficient for some of the voices I demoed here, and I'm not quite confident enough to believe it, there's no way I could possibly do all of them. So please, If you love this game as much as I do, if you'd like to be a part of making this happen, or if you just think this is a fun idea and want to see someone else take a swing at it, like and share this video and reach out to me in the comments. I read absolutely all of them, and if you're serious, I will get in touch. That's all for now, my lovelies. Until next time, I bid you adieu.